Hello. In this video, I'm going to show you how I oftentimes make an answer key using Pear. So sometimes the purpose of this will be to make a student-paced activity where students will, one, complete the activity, and then the second step will be that they go back and revise it with the solutions that I give them. I'm going to show you how I make those solutions. And then the other way that I use an answer key is even if I'm using Pear in the classroom, for any kid who was absent or maybe somebody who just needed a little bit of review, they can access that answer key after the fact. So this is how I do it. I create my Pear as I normally would, and I press Start Lesson. Sometimes I do this with students in the classroom, and sometimes I do it before class or after class. Right now, let's just pretend that I'm preparing it in advance. And so I'm going to just do a student-paced activity so that I can move through slides at my own pace. So right now, I'm in my teacher dashboard like I normally would run class. My mentality when making an answer key is to log in as a student. So the same way students would join by going to either this link right here or, of course, typing in the join code. This is the same link that I would assign students. I'm now going to that same link and pretending I'm a student for a moment. I'm signed in with my same Google account. I don't need to be signed in with another account, and I'm just filling this out like a student would. So I'll do a draggable. I'll go ahead and here's a short answer question. Obviously, this is not a question that I would need to fill out in my answer key, but I'm going to just do it for demo purposes. And now I can put in my answers. Now, I have a tablet, so I can actually draw. And so I would go ahead and solve this with my drawing tools. There we go. I solved my problem. I can easily change colors if I want. Go to the next slide. Maybe I want to annotate this. There we go. Go to the next slide and you get the idea. I would continue to solve the problems. When I'm all done, I would go back. So this is the student view. I would go back to my teacher view. I would end the lesson. I would maybe name it with my answer key and the title of my lesson, publish the student takeaways, and then I would go into my takeaways folder in Pear. So then I would find the takeaway that's just been published in my takeaways folder. So I'm going to click on here, and then here it is. It's only my blank responses and myself because I'm the only one who has done this. And then there's my answer key. So you'll see the slides, you'll see my answers. And then here's where I actually inked up that answer that you saw me do. Now, I will say I'm just crazy and I hate how it's so small, so I tend to resize things and make this bigger so that students can see it easier. But that's just because I'm crazy. I really wish that it didn't replicate it like that sometimes, especially for these drawing types. So I just kind of pull it bigger, and I usually chop off the bottom because it annoys me. But you get my point here, is that here's an answer key that I can publish and share with my students. So you do want to make sure that you go to the share settings and that you share it with everybody at your school or, just specifically with your class. And then you would copy that link and put it on your learning management system. So really my favorite use of this answer key is number one, if I make a student-paced activity, is one, students would complete the Pear. Then step two, I publish their takeaways. So there's a record of their first attempt. Step three is that I post the answer key, like I just showed you. Step four, students self-correct their takeaways using the answer key. So what I mean by that is students would just go ahead and use this note section to ask any additional questions to me, to make corrections, to reflect any notes to self. And then after they've done all that, then I grade it. So I allow students to self-reflect before I go in and grade. It saves me time, and it also gives them a little bit more ownership over this process. Now, the other way I honestly do this is in the classroom. Oftentimes I log in as a student while the rest of the class is logged in, and I just fill it out while they are filling it out. And then I have that answer key to post after class for notes for any students who missed class, but also for the students who just need to look back at anything that they missed. So pretty much to summarize what we talked about is you make your Google Slides as you always would. You add the Pear Deck interactivity. You start your lesson. When you start the lesson, if you're just making an answer key, I recommend that you do student pace mode so that you can move through the slides at your own pace because you're going to be logging in as a student. That's a key here. You're going to log in as a student to make the answer key. So here is the teacher view. So from here, I log in as I would tell my students to log in. So either use the join code, go to joinpd.com, type in this join code, or if you click that, you can just copy the direct link. That's the same link you would give students. Open that in a new tab. Here we go. Here is my student view. I'm logged in as a student. I can log in with my same exact Google account. I can be logged in as a teacher and a student at the same exact time. When I am finished, I go back to my teacher tab and I end the lesson. Then I would name my session and publish my takeaways. Final step is go to your takeaways and find that takeaway that you just published. I will see my takeaways here, open it up, and then just make sure your share settings are that anybody at your school, or maybe if you have a class folder, whatever, to make sure that students can access this. Then I just grab this URL and put it on my learning management system as the answer key. So that's really it. I hope this gives you some ideas, and that's it for this video. Bye.